Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Schmidt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smith?
What's up, buddy? I'm Smith. That's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for joining us. Webb, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 59 already.
59, man. Time flies. This was a tough one, too. Tough number 59. I did some digging. I really couldn't come up with anyone who's worthy of number 59. I don't know. We might have to just skip this one altogether, I think.
There comes the Wager Maker Express, and I don't know what to talk about skip. Last week was easy. Growing up in New Jersey, you're growing up a Steelers fan for whatever reason. So you grew up in New Jersey, a Cowboys fan. It was easy. Number 58 was Jack Lambert. No-brainer. Hall of Famer, 4-time Super Bowl champ. The man that stood right next to him when I was growing up. Number 59, Jack Ham, is an easy winner. Especially you got nothing. You got no comeback with it.
Yeah. With a name like Ham, I don't know. Ham sandwich. I don't know. I can't. I mean, some ham and mayo maybe, but there's no one else. By default. I got no
Hall
argument.
of Famer, 4 Super Bowl rings, kicked the shit out of Dallas every time they played in the big game. What more can you ask for? All right, number 59. So Webb, for months we were doing this show, and it was COVID this, COVID that, doom and gloom, no sports, trying to think of something to talk about. Now for a sports fan right now, this is ridiculous. It's like utopia. I wake up every day. There's hockey, watching hockey.
Day.
I got hockey playoffs. I got NBA playoffs. I got Major League Baseball has each team has 35 games left in the season. If this was a regular normal season, it'd be like coming down a stretch.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm loving the hockey, man. That's taken over that's my second favorite sport at this point. That's always on. It's always exciting. All these games are going to, it seems like every other game's in OT. Every game is, there's a couple blowouts there, but there's every game was close kind of coming into this game. I think the game right now is pretty good. I think it's 1-0. The Flyers are down. So yeah, Major League Baseball has been interesting as well. It's like I said, we're getting down to it. It's hard to get into it at this point with everything else is in the playoffs, but I'm real happy to have it at least.
Yeah, it's been great. And the games start by noon every day.
Well,
there's game. We've got live action every day. So it's been great. And so we're going to get into that, Webb. Episode 59, we're going to get into hockey playoffs. Some teams leaving the bubble already. NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the baseball. SEC schedule came out. SEC football schedule came out this week. Those guys are locked and loaded, ready to go. Big Ten and Pac-12. We're going to sit it out. Looks like at this point, maybe unless they change their mind. But before we get into all that, we wanted to welcome our friend to the show, Scott Pesic. So we talked a lot about Thrive Fantasy app and the contest that you can play on there and different fantasy games that they have on there. So I wasn't really explaining it as good as we want. We wanted to let everybody know about the Wager Makers promo code Wager Makers. You get free $20 when you put $20 on that. But just real quick from Thrive Fantasy, I want to welcome Scott Pesic to the show. Hey, Scott.
Hey, guys. How you doing tonight?
We're doing great. We're loving
good,
this
man.
thing.
Welcome. Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
So Scott, I've been trying to talk up the Thrive Fantasy app, but I don't think I did it justice. So I wanted to bring somebody on that knows what they're talking about. Tell us a little bit about, what the website, what the app does and what you can do and what you guys are all about.
Yeah, I'm sure you did a great job. But Thrive Fantasy, we're a daily fantasy sports app for player props. So if there's anybody that's not familiar with what a player prop is, it's a simple over-under on a player's stat line. A basic yes or no question in a sense. We've kind of revolutionized the daily fantasy space itself and gone away from the traditional salary cap lineups that you'd see. And we simply just ask you about a small list of 10 or 20 of the top players for that night, and we give you a player prop from each. So you're going to pick either 5 or 10 depending on the contest. Each prop has an over-under associated with it based on the probability that is to occur, a fantasy point total that is. And the more points it's worth, the more risk there is involved with that pick, or the less likely that is to occur. And essentially what you want to do is pick the most props correctly and rack up the most points, and then you're going up against other users in these contests. So simple as it can be, the more points wins, and you take home the prizes.
Right. So I was doing this, like I said, I'm in Louisiana. It's one of the spots that you guys aren't in down here, but my buddy in Arkansas. So me and him kind of been playing with it a little bit. We did some of the contests with the NBA. So Webb, what happens is they got a list of about 10 guys and you pick 5, and it might be like Anthony Davis over under 28 points, rebounds, and assists or something like that, and then you pick your 5 over unders. And then, so somebody else, you're actually playing against someone else. And I think we were playing like $100 games or something like that. Against
I got a couple questions right off the bat. So am I playing against an individual, like it's head to head, or am I playing against a pool of people? And then the best stat wins out of that pool. It's not head to head, is it? Or is it?
It's both. We have all different options. So we have, our featured contests for the night, which are usually around a $20 to $25 entry. And, that'll be all the way up to 100, 200 entries in total there. But then we have everything broken down to head to head. So if you just want to take your chances against somebody else, it's all just a matter of what your feel is.
And then what's the money? What's the denominations? Can I go as low as, I don't know, $10, $5, and then up to what, $500, something like that? Is there a limit either way on the downside or the high side?
Yeah. So, I mean, we go all the way. We have free contest all the way. And then, our lowest entry usually starts around $1 or $2. Right. As I mentioned, we'll have our featured contest, which is usually our largest guaranteed prize pool, around $20, $25 to enter. And then we have some higher stakes, $200, $300, $500 head-to-heads, even up into the thousands where, there's no rake. So it's basically, winner take all.
Gotcha. That's great. I mean, you could do it at any levels, and you can kind of even get your feet wet. And I'm not a big fantasy guy on any of this, to tell you the truth, but a couple of things that Smith said, you said, I guess, that kind of caught my eyes. It's daily, so you can just do it. It is, this long season. About if some dude gets hurt and I got to get him off, or if the running back, got arrested or whatever's going to happen. So that's one thing that's real interesting to me, is that it's quick. It's just a one-day thing. It's a daily thing. And then it's a limited number of players as well. Like you're going to tell me the guys I could pick, Tom, too. It's something that kind of turns me off to the fantasy too. It's just this overwhelming, roster, or it seems like unlimited amount of players. And you get down to some of these guys down the depth chart that you're never going to see, or who you don't really care too much about. So those are things as someone new to fantasy sports or would just be getting into it that attract me anyways.
Exactly. And like you guys mentioned, right now, with all the sports being back and, sports basically seeming like they're 24/7 now, obviously, since we can't be in these arenas and these stadiums, there's no better time than to have a secondary screen to interact when you're, at home watching all these games and streaming along with them. Just adds more excitement. It's a different way to watch the game because, if you have, like you mentioned, Anthony Davis, you could be rooting against him technically, and that could be, what you want to build on your lineup. Just a great way to watch and interact with the games. And also, as you mentioned, we're asking about the top guys. So, yeah, you're not waiting for your guy to, get dragged off the bench and hopefully, come and score a couple buckets. Or you're not, stuck drudging through a season-long league where you're, constantly on the waiver wire trying to pick guys up. All of our contests have built-in case of emergency picks. So if anybody is a late scratch, doesn't play for any sort of reason, we've got you covered there with 2 picks. So we try and keep it, as fair as possible and make sure that you have a full lineup at all times. But obviously we're adjusting just as everybody else is with everything that's going on, and have been very transparent through all that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that was my next question. What if someone, twists their ankle in warm-ups or something, or they get scratched, whatever, especially now with these, everything with the COVID testing. So that's great. Yeah, you have some default picks that you automatically go to. So you're always covered. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I can vouch for that too. Like I said, we were playing I think we were playing in $200 head-to-head NBA games, and it's cool. So you don't know who the other guy picks, so you got your set, and then all of a sudden the matchup comes in, and you find out, oh shit, I got 3 of the same guys that he's got, or he has one dude going. Like it could come down to one player when you're just picking 5. Like I'll have over on one guy, he'll have under, and then we might have the same guys on the rest of the time. So it's pretty tricky. It's been fun. It's been fun. It's like he says, it's one more way of action, and you can do it for every for every prize level. If you want to bet $5, you can do it. If you want to bet $200, you can do it. So it's been great.
Yeah, and
yeah,
NFL
it's just another reason to keep watching. It's awesome.
Yeah, NFL is really the bread and butter there. We ask you about 20 players. This way, you have a bigger lineup of 10, and on a Sunday, 20 players, you're going to get great names out of that. If you check out the app now, Thrive Fantasy in both app stores and thrivefantasy.com. We've got $50,000 up for NFL Week 1. We got $10,000 guaranteed for the Thursday night game with the Texans and the Chiefs, and then $20K guaranteed for our traditional Sunday, and then another $10 guaranteed for our touchdowns only contest, which is an awesome contest as well. Same concept. We're asking about 20 players, but you simply have to pick whether or not you think they're going to score a touchdown. Obviously, usually the points are usually on the over side that they will score a touchdown, because it's less likely for some guys to do that. But it's a great concept and contest to watch if you're a fan of Red Zone, which a lot of us are come NFL Sunday.
Yeah, that's great. It's another thing. I mean, as I'm thinking as you're talking, like that's some leagues you can, if he catches a 10 yards, a certain amount of fumble's not a minus points, or an interception's not a minus points. It's just another thing that turned me off. And if you could just do, you just worry about if dude scores. And who cares what else he does? He gets one. He's in the, he runs a kickback. He's in the play for one game or 50 plays. As long as he gets in the end zone, it's good. So that's another something that I find inviting.
Yeah, we definitely, we try and give you as many different options out there. But really, we really pride ourselves on it just being simple, easy to pick up and play. You don't have to be, you don't have to have the craziest knowledge about the NFL or, all these guys. You can lock in on the top guys every week. And, we've got the money there to back it up for you to go after and try and win.
Those numbers, but those numbers you were saying, so that means you're guaranteed to pay out those amounts. Is that what that means?
Yep. So those contests, no matter what, they end up locking at, it's a set prize pool. All of our contests, the prize pools don't fluctuate based on how many entries. But the guaranteed ones, since, they are so big, up front, we let you know that, there's no chance that those are going to go away. That, no matter how many, if there's 2 entries, which, hopefully there wouldn't be, but there's 2 entries.
We'll get you more than that.
Yeah, it'll run.
All right, great. So, man, I've really been enjoying it. Just like you guys, I know, just like we are. I'm sure you guys are really cranking up and getting ready for NFL season and college football and all that. So, Scott, thanks so much for coming on. If you have one thing you want to let people know out there, or make sure you let them know for sure before we leave, how they find you guys, the website, the app, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So as I mentioned, Thrive Fantasy, one word, on both app stores, thrivefantasy.com. We're just about at Thrive Fantasy on all your major social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you have any questions at all, reach out to us there. I'll get back to you usually, pretty quickly there. I cover most of those. And yeah, use your guys' promo code WagerMakers when you sign up, and when you make your first deposit of $20 or more, you get an instant $20 bonus, which is great because, that's almost a free entry for some of these week 1 contests, as well as we have, daily NBA contests with everything going on, MLB contest, and PGA contests as well.
Yep. And it's like we're looking forward to football now. Look, it's coming. It's right around the corner here. Less than a month until the NFL kicks off. These are great contests they have over here at Thrive Fantasy. It's a great time to get your money in now, get familiar with the site, maybe play a couple games in this NBA and NHL until we get started, just so you know your way around the site before the NFL season kicks off.
Yeah, even the PGA, we've been playing a lot of PGA. It's funny how that's come into the the forefront now since the COVID, when nothing else was going on. So that's a lot of fun actually too. And plus you get like the daily thing you do every day, round matchups. That's great. That's great.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. If you're still there, I don't know if we lost you or what, but Scott, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone out there, check out Thrive Fantasy and make sure you check out if you get on there, put your money on there, you get a free $20 when you do Wager Makers as the promo code. So
thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Scott. Have a good
thank you so much, man.
All right, cool, Webb. So we just wanted to make sure everybody knew what, I kind of described it before, but he did a much better job letting people know what's out there. I've been playing these games and helping Scott Wheatley out with these, and we've been having a good time. It's a lot of extra stuff to keep track of with the NBA, and like I say, it's the players we know. It's like they'll have LeBron James points, rebounds, assists, over, under. It's not like you have to pick the numbers, nothing like that. You just look at the number and look at his averages and say where you think it's going over, under.
Right.
So.
And the thing, like I said, it's the top guys, which it's great. And then it's daily. So you're not locked into the shit all season and making these trades and all that other bullshit that goes along with the fantasy nonsense. So that it does sound, it sounds great.
All right. So let's move on. Just Webb, NBA playoffs last night. I know it's only game one. And I had money on the Lakers.
Yes,
but nothing made me happier, Webb.
Yeah,
nothing made me happier than to see the Lakers go down in flames in game one.
They didn't look too good, man. I don't know. That's they're floundering. I mean, I can't see LeBron going out in the first round, but that was not promising. We'll see what happens game two. Yeah, the Bucks went down too, but I think that's a little bit different. First of all, different opponent, and then second, I mean, I think they're a little bit more solid. 1 through 12 than the Lakers are. But yeah, I knew you were loving it. That was money you were happy to lose. If you're going to lose one, that was it.
Right. And it was one of those ones where I was laying 7 points. At least the Lakers didn't come back and win by 2. And everybody's high-fiving everybody and stuff like that. But
Right.
I've been pretty hard on LeBron, or just not so much LeBron, but just we talked about the Jordan debate. I got no beef with LeBron so much as far as a player. Dude, 17 rebounds and 16 assists last night. That's amazing. That's balling. That's straight out ball.
I mean, there's no denying he's a beast, but it's not like Michael wouldn't have lost that game. That's the difference. I mean, he don't need that state. It don't matter what. That's so that's the difference. There's no denying LeBron's James prowess. He's right up there. Not how many men can even be in that conversation. So that's a huge compliment anyway. But MJ wasn't losing that game.
Then we can talk about my boy Anthony Davis. We just had a special guest on, so in case they're listening, I'm not going to use our usual nickname for Anthony Davis tonight. I'll go just with AD. 8 of 24 shooting, Webb. 2 points. 2 points in the fourth quarter. From the guy who left New Orleans because he can't have teammates. He don't have teammates to win the games with.
Right. Well, there you go. He can't carry. Obviously, that's enough said right there. How is that? What are they? Top 5 player, right? He's a top 5 player. How are you going to score 2 points? And I don't understand. Like, it's just you can't do it. It's I mean, all these guys just get anointed without ever accomplishing anything. I mean, LeBron, we just mentioned that you can't argue with that. But Anthony did. What did he do in New Orleans? Did he win? What, they won that one playoff series?
One playoff series, right? They won.
And now he's top 5, and he gets this right. So, let's let some of these guys, or most of these guys. Right.
You still don't have the guys.
Right. You got Dwight Howard down low. You got dudes all over got names all over the court. So what's going to happen now? What's the excuse? Where is it now? Who do you need to play with? You got to play with, you got to bring in LeBron and who? You're going to bring in KD and then I don't know, whoever else. Fucking, and Kawhi. You got to bring in Kawhi too. Right. You got to have 5 guys. Right. You have five of the, you want all the top 5 players, whatever you call yourself. They call themselves on the same team in order for him to get past the first round.
Ended up with 28 points, which is respectable, always respectable, but 8 of 24 shooting and 2 points in the fourth quarter when it really mattered. AD,
that's not when they needed them.
They might come back. They might come back. We'll see how it goes. But
I'd still be shocked if they lose the series, but it's just the opposite of Dame. Like, Damian Lillard, when they needed him, he was there hitting shots at the end, and that's what you need to win. You got to elevate. I mean, we do a lot with it's similar to an NFL quarterback. Are you looking for stats? Or are you looking for guys who are going to win the game? It's great to see these 4,000 yards or whatever it is, but how about you win me a fucking game?
Yeah, not like, look, I lost money that night. Nothing would make me happier to see these Lakers get knocked out in the first round. I would love.
Oh, you and me both. I mean, I don't think LeBron can. I'd be shocked. It would be shocking.
So other series in this, we got the Celtics and Sixers. The Bucks looked terrible in Orlando the other day, and they've looked pretty crappy in the bubble. This whole bubble experience has been kind of messed up. Even Giannis got into little issues, like technical issues and fights and stuff. Like just seems to be this team that everybody thought in the East was going to be the beast. Just seems to be in disarray. I know it's only one game.
Something the ball. Damn, I thought the GS fight or whatever that little scrape up would light a fire on, but that was not the case. They're still clearly head and shoulders above everybody else in the East. I think the second best team is probably Toronto. The Sixers are a fucking embarrassment. It's soft can be. I don't know what you got to just break that whole scenario up. They were down by 20 just a couple minutes ago. Celtics are good, but they, I don't think they can get there either. And then Toronto's got the championship pedigree, and that dude Nick Nurse can fucking coach, man. And then I guess the other one would be Miami, but I don't know if they have the horses either, similar to Boston. But to me, it's a 2-horse race there. I do think the Bucks will just by default get there, but then with Toronto's going to give them a hell of a fight, I think.
Yeah, I think Toronto's they've looked good. The Nets were kind of a good team in the bubble too, and they gave them a little bit of, like, they got blown out. Toronto blew them out for game 1. Nets gave them a little bit of run today, but when the crunch time came, Toronto just took control of that game. I did have the 11 points today, so I was happy that ended up being close, but that was good. And then you got the Heat and the Pacers.
That's how it's going to be for this series.
And then obviously Lakers and Portland. A good series. Rockets beat the crap out of Oklahoma City in game 1.
That's on tonight. And the other Utah and Denver, that's a good series. That's 1-1.
Right, and then the Clippers and Mavs. That's early in game 2. Very close game in game 1. Early in game 2, the Mavericks have a pretty big lead. Just midway through the first quarter right now, but it's 15-2.
Wow. Yeah, that's another one. I think the Clippers are a team that's waiting. I think that's almost depending on what the Lakers do. That's going to be a kind of a one team race with the Clippers out there. I don't see anybody else really scaring them. I don't. Denver looked good, but then they come out and lose today, and no one else is going to. If they're right, no one's going to beat the Clippers. I don't think at that way. So I'm looking at the Clippers and probably the Bucks in the finals.
All right, watch out for my boys Luka and what's the dude from the Knicks that went out to Dallas?
That was he got fucked the other day. That shit right there. And they only lost by a couple points. And that was some weak nonsense throwing him out of basketball. I mean, are we that far removed from really playing?
Right. And then so that's good. We got good ball going on. The NHL, we got some teams leaving the bubble already, Webb. Chicago, the Blackhawks got knocked out last night. Arizona got knocked out. Carolina got knocked out. Columbus gone, and looks like the Flyers are close to knocking out Montreal tonight. So
but
the bubble is getting
1-0. The hockey's great, man. I love it. Out west, you can see the teams. Some of these teams are so much faster. Like Colorado, I really like, and then obviously Vegas too. I think between those two, but right behind them is Dallas is pretty good, and then obviously St. Louis wasn't even the best team in the league last year, and they ended up winning it all. So, they got to get past Vancouver, but that's kind of, if you get a hot goalie, you never know. You can kind of ride it through.
Right.
But I'm looking at Vegas. I think Vegas and Colorado out west, and then with the Bruins that are looking real good, and Puffs showed some grit was Tampa Bay. So I think I got Tampa Bay over Boston with the Flyers, and then the Islanders maybe right behind them as some guys with a shot. And then probably I'm going to go with Tampa Bay over Vegas in the finals. I think would be my pick.
Oh boy! All right. Well, I got the Vegas to win it all for plus 650. I think
I got them too. I got a couple different ones. So yeah,
Colorado.
I got all my bases.
That's going to be a tough. I think Vegas and Colorado are head and shoulders
That's
above
good.
the rest in the West. So we'll see what happens. And then, like I say, St. Louis is in a battle with Vancouver. That's been a good series.
Yep.
And Boston finally, after I think they had some trouble in the little round robin section, and they had a little trouble getting started, but they took care of business this week too.
They had one of their forwards hurt. Yeah, he just came back, so they're just getting right at the right time, I think. And that was tough, I think, on all those higher level teams in the round robin. I'm not sure what they knew what they were playing for or what it was. That was kind of weird. You even saw a lot of that in the we were betting. Who the fuck knew what was going on a week ago? These teams were like by 15, and it was crazy. I didn't know if it was going on there at the end of that the NBA season there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're finally into the playoffs, and the teams that are supposed to be good. Obviously, we talked about the Bucks and Lakers losing, but the rest of the teams are actually coming. At least they're coming to play every night, and that's half the battle. And
right, exactly.
In the bubble, you didn't know who was resting, who was going to do what. So.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Major League Baseball, your Rays are getting hot. Seems like they're coming around. Kind of
love the Rays, babe. I was worried there, and at first they were struggling to score some runs, but they seem like they got that figured out now. So,
right, and they're giving the Yankees. The Yankees have a great record, but every time they face the Rays, it's a dogfight. They lost. I think they lost 2-3 in Tampa, and then the Rays took the first game in New York last night, I believe. So.
They did, and I think the Rays were up. The Rays were winning when I came out. I'm not sure what the score is. It was only 1-0, I think. But that was a good Pat Cole, and I think Glasnow was pitching for the Rays.
Right. So man, it's awesome. I got watching highlights of games right now, and like I said, we got the NBA, NHL. It's a good time to be a sports fan after a lot of sad days. They're all coming crashing down at one time. We had the SEC schedule came out. They're moving right along. Going to have regular SEC football play, Big Ten and Pac-12. I'm really starting to be shocked that they backed out so soon with the big boys, the ACC and the Big 12 and SEC are going to move on and keep playing.
Well, they have to be. I mean, for me, have to be applauded. The question is, are these players, these student athletes, safer, or are they at a higher risk playing football than not? And I don't know that there's any argument where you could say that they are. So therefore, I feel like they should be. Obviously, I have my own vested interest in it, but there's no proof saying that they're more at risk. I would venture to say the vast majority of these kids are safer in that structured environment, especially with the testing, et cetera, and they would be sequestered than they are, left to their own, diversions or whatever you wanted to say, for any 18 to 20-year-old kid. And a lot of these kids, I mean, even mental health wise, this is like the most important thing. This is their that's been successful for them.
Their whole structure.
They've gotten right, and then that's where the success has come in their lives versus other parts of their of their lives. So I don't know. I didn't agree with not playing. It's certainly without any hard evidence saying that it's certainly a direct risk that it's worse or puts them at a greater risk than not playing. So that's, I don't know. And we knew it was coming. Lane Kiffin came out today. They let these kids transfer immediately with no penalty. They'll be gone.
There will be no more Big Ten or Pac-12.
Gone.
Yep.
Gone.
Alabama will have 200 kids.
Every team. Every team. Yep.
All of them.
Yep. Exactly. Every team. Right. Just fucking line them up, tear them up. Who's going where? Top players are going to Bama, Clemson, and LSU and Georgia. Second guys are going to lower level SEC, and everyone else going to ACC. That's it.
I'm number 12 on the depth chart at LSU at cornerback.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I mean, they'll be gone.
Right. SEC, they announced that it's a 10-game schedule, all conference. Man, that's going to be games every week. It's the best games. It's going to be the best games.
What's the downside? What is the downside? I mean, it's every game. There's going to be no cupcakes. There's none of there's going to be no 45-point spreads in week 2. Right. Alabama against Georgia State or Morehead State or something like that. It's fucking great. It's awesome. Even the ACC is a little bit better. Sure, they had some transfers come in there, and I applaud the Big 12. Smart, extremely smart of them to keep their nose in there with Oklahoma and some of those teams that can kind of sneak up maybe. So maybe this is year A&M could kind of win a fluky game and get in there. So there's definitely going to be. You're going to look at the top 25. I think I did it. There's only I think there's 7 teams that are missing from there, and the only one that you're really going to miss is Ohio State anyway. That's probably the only one that in Wisconsin maybe. Penn State's a decent team, but there wouldn't be anything close to the playoffs. So, I mean, I feel bad for Justin Fields. I don't know what he's supposed to do. The dude's going to be going to NFL next year, so how's he supposed to show his wares, especially with his kind of skill set? So, again, he'd be transferred. He'd be quarterbacking wherever, tomorrow. Right. If he could transfer.
Oh man, so many teams would salivate even with 1 week of practice. Yeah, come play. You're a starter. Right. You're a starter. I don't care.
Well, come play. You'll be here tomorrow. You're under center.
Right. We'll snap the ball in the shotgun. Run around. Make a play.
Yep. You tell us what plays you like. No problem.
Yep. So go to the horses. We're not that far away from the Kentucky Derby, I guess. I didn't win the tournament, Webb. What do they call that? The horse racing pick thing? Donnybrook. I didn't win. I came in second place, but I didn't piss it away. I had the trifecta. I even cashed the ticket that day. I had the winner. Had the trifecta. Somebody Greg Stahl. Congratulations to Greg Stahl. And thank you for Scott Wheatley for a great tournament at the Thoroughbred Report. Make sure you check him out. I came in second place, Webb. Second place.
Not bad, but silver medal. Not bad.
Silver medal getting me no money. And I was winning going in. Had the trifecta. What can I tell you? I didn't pick all 4 horses. I picked 3. What can you do? I mean, it's tough to go down like that, but at least I didn't pull a big donut. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't take the collar, right? Yeah.
I won money on the race, regular betting. I won money.
I think I actually won some on the race too, but I didn't have it either.
So let's see. NFL Webb teams are in camp, full pad. Saints had a full pad practice the other day.
Alex Smith is back.
Alex Smith is back. That's in your division. Dude, probably the best quarterback they have on their roster if he's healthy, if he's really healthy.
Yeah, but this is straight. If he wasn't guaranteed, I think he's guaranteed $12 million or something like that. If they wasn't guaranteed, he wouldn't be playing, and they wouldn't even have him on the team if they could cut him and get rid of some of that money. He probably is the best quarterback on the roster right now, but he's not going to be. I'd be surprised if he's on the team in a couple of weeks, just based on how badly some other teams need a quarterback, and if he truly is interested in playing still. Because I like him. I always liked him. I liked him back at Utah back in the day. He was overdrafted, I think. I don't think he was the best player in that draft. Drafted number 1. That hurt him in terms of perception, but he's been a quality NFL quarterback.
Yep. Solid dude. So I don't know. He certainly knows the game. He's been around. He's been in big games. If he's somewhat healthy, he could be the best guy on a Redskins roster, but we'll see how that turns out. I think Rivera might like a veteran presence on that team. This might be what they need.
Yeah, well, they brought in somebody. They got someone else on there behind. There's someone else that they have. So he's Haskins and someone else. So I don't know that he's in there. That Alex going to be in those plans. But hey, you never know. That's as of right now, he's definitely the best guy in the room for sure. Speaking
of camp, the Seahawks, Webb, they had a little issue with one of their players. I guess a backup defensive back got kicked off the team. Kima Sivaran for sneaking a girl into their bubble. They had a bubble.
That's I wonder how many girls Bruce Irvin and Skittle, whatever, Rashawn McCoy and Russell Wilson are sneaking in there. That's funny. They let it's funny. Everyone that dude was the last one in line. That's all. Someone had to bite the bullet. That's what that shit. That's right there. That was the example.
They weren't going to set an example with Russell Wilson if he's bringing a woman.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Probably Russell Wilson Thomas probably went walking right in with a girl, and he comes in behind him with a girl. And they stopped him. Hey, where do you think you're going, kid?
Earl Thomas went in with 2 girls, one under each arm, and they didn't see him. He was invisible. The other kid came in. Whoa, man.
Your team, Webb, already starting to see injuries. Andrus Peat, offensive lineman for the Saints, went down today. I think he's going to be out for the season. Gerald McCoy, big guy, defensive lineman for your Dallas Cowboys. They picked up this year, 6-time Pro Bowler. He's out for the season as well. That's a tough shot for the inside of your defense there, Webb.
Yeah, that sucked. He seems to be a real high character guy too. They actually ended up cutting him, and they're going to sign him again next year. But he's still going to mentor. He's still going to have some role with the team. So that sucked. I was looking forward to see him. That's one of the things. I was so happy when they got rid of Rod Marinelli, the old defensive coordinator. We're signing some guys. We're getting a little beefed up in the middle. But there are a couple of other draft picks. We had a 3rd-round pick this year from Oklahoma, Neville Gallimore, I think his name is, who plays the 3. We have the dude Tyrone Crawford, who's been on the team forever. He can play the 3. And then another rookie last year, this dude Tristan Hill from Central Florida. So there are bodies there at least. But I was really looking forward to seeing McCoy play. He's older. He's 32, which is old. But and he signed a 3-year, $18 million deal. Well, I was disappointed for him, and I'm disappointed for the Cowboys. But I'm glad to see he's still in good spirits and still going to help out. And they are planning on bringing him back next year if that works out, which is encouraging. But hey, it happens. If that's going to be the worst of our injuries.
You there, Webb?
Yeah, I'm here. You froze up too.
All right. So one more thing before we move further. We talk a lot about like Major League Baseball. They got this new season. They got some new rules, extra innings. Go start out with a man on second base. Kind of getting away from some of the old school. Going to DH for both leagues. You can argue whether or not you do that. There's kind of the new school, old school ways of baseball. So there's a young, super talented dude on the Padres, Tatis Jr. And dude hits a grand slam yesterday, Webb. Yeah. Grand slam 2 days ago. And he's catching all kinds of hell from the old timers. Even his coach, even his manager gave him some shit about it.
Well, what are they saying exactly? Like, what fuck? I would just walk around saying, "Fuck you, you old fucking bastards. Go fuck yourself. This is a new world. It's my world. I'm the man now. You're sorry, shabby ass baseball you used to play. I can hit, run, throw.
Yep.
I'm an athlete. You were a baseball player. Go fuck yourself." Yep. Baseball unwritten rules are archaic and half of them are stupid. So fuck you. Fuck that. Good.
How about this? Don't give up 14 runs in a game, and don't give up a grand slam. How about that? How about that? Unwritten rule.
Right. How about you? Right. Write that.
Yeah,
how about unwritten rule? Don't give up a grand slam for the kid.
Don't give up a grand slam.
Right.
Now it's a written rule. Don't give up a grand slam.
Yeah. And then don't let the kid beat you again the next day. He came out the next day and did yesterday, I think it was, or maybe even today, whatever it was. Yesterday he came out and beat him again. He had a 3-run homer or something like that. And how about that? You guys really had an affected on it. You really got to his psyche. He only hit a 3-run homer the next day.
Listen, it's an unwritten rule that we have to beg you to stop beating our ass. How about that? Unwritten.
Please.
Can you please stop beating our ass?
Right.
How about
stop hitting home runs on us? Right.
Super talented dude. And dude hits a grand slam because you suck, and he got to catch hell over it.
Right. What's he supposed to do? Not hit it? Get the fuck out of here.
Right. All right. So yeah, the unwritten rule of baseball. We're going to talk
about the problem with baseball
that we come up with is different stupid unwritten rules in baseball.
Right. By old men.
By old ass men who when we were kids, Keith Hernandez be smoking a cigarette on the bench.
Right.
Give me a break.
Dude, when the Mets won, it was like they used to call it. It was Parliament to Winston to Marlboro. Rafael Santana smoked Winston's. Wally Backman smoked whatever Parliament, and Keith Hernandez smoked Marlboro. So get the fuck up.
God forbid you swinging a ball when you're getting your ass beat.
Right. When you're right. Yeah. What you get paid to do. Right.
Yeah. And plus, you probably got some incentives in your contract for an extra.
Hell yeah, of course you do.
Might be a huge deal. An extra home run, an extra 4 ribbies is huge.
Mookie Betts just signed a $300 million deal. This guy's going to sign by the time he's ready, it's going to be $500 million. And isn't the fucking pitcher getting paid? Are we supposed to take it easy? You going to pay Tatis's difference?
Ridiculous. All right, it makes me almost as mad as I talked a lot about Zion and Gentry last week. These dudes. NBA career is what, 10 years? If you have a good one, 10, 12. Yeah. Obviously there's guys that go longer than that, but Zion has already shown to be a little bit injury prone. 1 year, wasted.
For sure.
One, you wasted his whole year. Wasted his year. I'm still not okay with that.
I don't know what are you waiting for? Like, what are you draft a guy to play him? Like, no, next year. For what? It's like the Cleveland Browns when all they did was stockpile fucking picks. They never did dick with any of all those first round draft picks.
Oh,
you drafted the guy, put him on the court. Right. Plays 1 year to win a championship's worth it. Done. Thank you. You can retire. It's fine. We got a championship.
Shit. It still pissed me off this week. I was thinking about it. You get how many damn years do you get? You don't get that many. Well, one's gone. Now he's already in his second year. One
right, and already
you wasted it by sitting him on the bench.
Yeah, and the year that's the craziest year of ever that you could have stole one.
Right, when they handed you a playoff spot.
Right.
The rules were made for him to get
right,
and you
did it. Yeah, they should be playing right now or whenever, a couple minutes. Yeah, yep. It's true. You can't deny it. It's true. It's crazy.
All right. Anything else we didn't touch on this week? Next week, look, we're gonna get these competitions going. Football. It's coming so fast. We got to pay attention here. It's coming so fast. It's already we're already 10 days away from the end of August, which basically means football season is here, Webb.
It is. I think college is starting a little bit later. I think right to 26 or something, September 26th. But whatever, it's coming. It'll be here. We got stuff to get us there.
Like that. NFL starts, I believe.
Yeah, NFL's it's September 7th. Yeah, so we're fine. We're good. We're in good shape, man. Like I said, they're tipping shit off. They're dropping the puck at 12 noon. There's a basketball game at 1:30, and we're rolling till I fall asleep. It's a beautiful thing, man. That's right. One thing good come out of this bullshit COVID.
It's all coming. It's like the perfect storm now.
Yeah. All day, every day, baby.
All right. Thanks, Scott, for coming on and telling us about Thrive Fantasy. Don't forget, everybody, go to Thrive Fantasy, set yourself up an account. If you put in $20, they match the $20. If you put in $100, they only match the $20. But Wager Makers is the promo code. Get on there and do that, and it's a lot of fun, and it keeps you occupied in every game. If you're not a big gambler, it's a good way to play some games and get into it. Facebook, The Wager Makers Podcast, Twitter at The Wager Makers, Instagram at The Wager Makers, TheWagerMakers@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our picks. You can buy them off of SportsWatchMonitor.com. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations, for all your help there in Monmouth County, checking out on all the shady shit. John Grove for the bumper music. TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. Devin's going to tell you about YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers Podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thank you, Devin. And thank you all for listening. Hey, next stop is number 60. So let's do it. Tell some friends. We got footballs coming up soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Wilbur Investigations. Thanks, Scott Wheatley, for the Donnybrook. Lots of fun. Thank you, Scott from Thrives Fantasy. That's he almost convinced me there, Smith. You know, I might be going over to the dark side of fantasy on that daily stuff at least.
Find somebody in New York to play.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be hard. And then thank you, Marty Johnson. We did want to thank her.
Yes.
For the shares and descriptions. That's it. Listen, we're heating up. Pay attention to our picks again. We're heating up, and we get you through both the NBA and the playoffs. So follow us. Man, thanks for listening.
Yes, wanted to jump all over that real quick. Just thank you so much, Marty Johnson. I meant to mention it earlier in the show. I had it written down. That's why Webb brought it up right now. Thank you so much for the awesome descriptions and the shares that you put on social media all the time. It's awesome. We appreciate it. And all right, that's it for tonight.